Cincinnati, Ohio.
Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins.
And this one goes nowhere, losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. They go play action now. Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. It was just third down and short, but he bit off a little extra.
I would say way more than he could chew, but he chewed up all that yardage in a big way. And that, to me, that was a combination of offensive line, stacked defense, and they handled it. Okay, they got the leverage, they got the blocking angles, and opened up a nice crease. And once you get past that first wave, there's room to roam.
And that's just the third play from scrimmage. They wanted to avoid that 3-and-out. They did.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
That is caught. Rashad Bateman.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Jackson now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll be corralled right around the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They go play action with Burrow. This complete to Langford. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40.
Burrow will throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. The Bengals had 7-4 on the year, and they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
From the 30 on second down, Burrow flush to his right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Burrow on his toes that time as they get the first down.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Touchdown! Chris Godwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But when the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now a pass hauled in downfield, and they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. From the gun, Jackson. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Ravens are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengals drive about to get going.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first. That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
Play action. It's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Yeah, we saw that from up here, CD. A tug on the face mask, and the flag comes out.
And we saw that last week they had some defensive miscues like that. And they told us that they had worked hard on it in practice and thought they had it all cleaned up. But obviously the message hasn't really sunk in. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
From the 9, 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Tucker's kick is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
On 2nd and a yard, Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Here we go.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
11.
Now Burrow. Looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Now, the offense, they had really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. He's going to try and go deep again. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And some room to maneuver. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
Again, it's Burrow. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Options galore here, second and a few inches. Play action. It's Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Chris Godwin with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bengals have cut it back within a score. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He'll find Bateman once more. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it.
This drive didn't end well, but if they can keep stringing these together, they'll like what they're doing. That was an 8-play drive.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Here's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Burrow.
And this one is incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. He's got him in, complete, past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Chris Godwin,
73 yards. And the Bengals come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that will put them on top here in the third.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just there, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Now Burrow on 1st down. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Burrow on 3rd down. Open man has got one. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 17-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He will find his man Chase, complete. Touchdown Bengals. Jamar Chase from 17 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. It's another 1st down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Jackson's throw is on target to Duvernay. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They go right back to him for 20 and a 1st.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 10 yards away. And the Ravens are an extra point away from evening this one up. And they'll try to run it in with Dobbins. And he will not get there as the try for 2 is unsuccessful. And they will remain down by a point. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And a Cincinnati score. Chris Godwin, 75 yards. And the Bengals get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wallace. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Jackson. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The quick throw by Burrow is complete. And he's got room. And he'll be brought down at the 27. That's on Jackson Carman, 2nd-round pick in 2021. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Hayden Hurst, 46 yards. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out. To the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
on their side of midfield at the 47.
He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game. Plenty of...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Joe Mixon, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, they pitch to the tight end. It's a fake.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for two, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick 6 on the other side, and now they get a pick 6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick 6 from earlier in this game?
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Now it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On third down, Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. The one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
There he goes, right side. 131 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Mixon is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Buying time to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Knocked away and incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And they will take a knee here.
Here we go. Here we go. 180.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You know, you just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for the Bengals, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.